Hi, I'm Matt Cedillo, Literary Director of the Dawson Center for the Arts. We're joined here today with Frank Garcia, who is the originator of the Aslan show, and we're here to discuss how it all got started. So Frank, how did it all get started?
Well, I was principal at Park West High School, which is right down the street on 2nd Street. And every day I'd walk from the school to here, which is about a mile, and I'd come to get lunch down on 2nd Street. And I'd always stop off at the Dawn. I love art, I always have. And I'd stop off at the Dawn and see what they had. And one day, Joni Weldon, who was the director of the Dawn, said, you know, you're here so much, why don't you join our board? So I said, sure. And I joined the DAW board, and I looked around, and I told the DAW board, Joni and Chris Tuvey, the president, I said, you're right in the middle of a Chicano barrio, and yet I never see any Chicano art. All the artists were coming from San Dimas, Claremont, Laverne. And I would see Chicanos walk by and look in, but they never really got involved. And so they said, well, we don't have the expertise. Why don't you do a show? I said, I will. I was good friends with Gilbert Lujan Magoo. They call him Magoo, famous artist that just passed away 4 or 5 years ago. And I moved him down the street. Also, he had a studio. And so I got together with Magoo and we started contacting all the Chicano artists. We went to about 50 different artists, East LA, here, everywhere, and asked them to join the show, and we decided to call it Aslan because that was a shirt that Magoo had made called The Return to Aslan. And so we decided to call it The Return to Aslan. That was the first show, 2003. And from there it just grew. We would not only exhibit all these tremendous artists, but we would also fundraise. I would go to the city council, the mayor, various businesses, and I would solicit funds, donations for the DAW. One year I made $18,000 for the DAW, so it was very helpful, and it was something they had never done. They had never asked for donations for a show. And so they were very pleased with that, and it's been running since. This is the 16th year that it's been running.
Yeah. How do you like this exhibit, the first one you kind of stepped away from?
Yeah, this is a good exhibit. They've all been good. You have several of the artists that started originally, and then you have some new artists, and that's the case. Every year we add new artists, we find new artists. Other artists tell each other, and we used to have a barbecue at the beginning of the show on a Sunday when they had the drop-off for the art. We had a big barbecue at my house, and everybody come over. And it was wonderful because you had all these tremendous artists at the house having barbecue and drinking beer and talking about art, discussing art, critiquing other artists, young artists that come in. And there they were with David Wateo, Wayne Healy, Magoo, all the major Chicano artists. And they would be showing their work and discussing how they got the lines that they put in. And it was very helpful, very creative.
Yeah. How would you describe your relationship here with the Dawson Center for the Arts over the years? How's it?
It's been very good. I've seen several directors come through. Margaret is really top notch. Tuvey has had it since he's been here. In fact, he inspired the first DAW. They used to be down the street on Gary, and that's how they got the name, the DAW. They were above Arthur Murray Dance Studio, and it had an electronic sign, and the sign burned out except for the DAW from dance, and so they started calling themselves the DAW Gallery.
Right. Yeah. So what do you see? What do you hope for to see in future exhibits now that this thing's taken on a life?
Oh, I'd like to see it continue. It really it's a great contribution to the community. Like I said when I first got here, this is largely a Hispanic community, but it doesn't have to be just a Hispanic community. It's a great community, and it exemplifies the art of the community, the people of the community. And I think it's a great rendition for art here in Pomona and all over LA. There was a lot of cross-cultural work with each other. We worked with the East LA artists in Los Angeles, as far as Arizona, Texas. And they would come to see our stuff, we'd go see their stuff. We even had a group from Mexico, Ensenada, that came down. A whole group of guys that came down and brought all their art. Great relationships were started.
Yeah, well, we hope to continue the legacy.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. You have a great community. You have several local artists that are good artists. And this is a perfect space for it. Perfect space. And Margaret's a great director.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Very lucky to have her. Well, Frank, thank you for your time.
Well, thank you.
And
It's
this
a
has
pleasure.
been, and thank you for all your contributions over the years.
I appreciate that.
We're gonna keep it going.
Okay, we will.